Yeah, I think obviously, there's a couple of points that are pretty obvious. One, not making enough runs, and two, our top order probably didn't do as well as they would have liked. When you lose a few wickets in the first power play, with the power play only being 4 overs, well, the first one being 4 overs now, it makes it difficult to come back. It almost makes it a consolidation game rather than a game that we can really take on head on. So those couple of points definitely going to be at the top of the list to try and, combat next game. But we're still looking to come back and be hungry to win. It's such a long season that we're not going to count ourselves out the first round.
And on Jason Berendorf, he's obviously unavailable for tomorrow. Who is there anyone particular you'd like to see replace him? Is there anyone that's good to go?
Yeah, look, all of our guys are ready to go. I think if we look at doing a like for like, then someone like Joel Paris could potentially come in and swing the new ball like Dorf did the other night at the top of the order. We've got Matt Kelly as well, who's proved himself. He's ready to go really well in the nets as well. So any of those guys pumped and ready to go.
And Ash Agar, is he a chance to feature in this game, or is he more likely sort of game 3, game 4 kind of territory?
I think, he'll probably feature when we're back in Perth. He's a fantastic player, and obviously he's been away from home for a little while now. He's got a lot of international experience, so we can't wait for him to come back and show what he's made of again this season.
Thanks, Jhye.
Thanks, Jordan. Lockie, do you want to jump in next?
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Hey, Jhye. Obviously, it must be nice to have AJ Tyre back in the team. We've heard from JL and in sort of the national setup how important he is in terms of being a team man. What does he bring to the Scorchers squad?
Oh, look, we've got such a big mentality in our squad to do what the team needs from you at that particular moment. And he sort of epitomizes that sort of value, I guess, for us. Whether or not he's carting bags from the van to the ground, packing up someone that's left a mess. He just does everything. He's nicknames the MacGyver. He just knows how to do everything. He'll fix everyone's bats. He does everything for the team before himself. So to have him around, and even just his experience around cricket as well, to have that to pass on to a few of our younger players is especially important as well.
And for you personally, how nice is it to be sort of back at this level after sort of the injuries that you've been through over the last 12 or so months?
Yeah, it's definitely a relief. Having such a long time on the sidelines, it sort of, builds up a bit of emotion and a bit of hunger to get back out on the cricket field. So to finally get back and play a competitive game, albeit didn't have any team success, it was really satisfying for myself to put all that stuff behind me and get back out on the cricket field.
Did you get a chance to chat to Sean after taking his wicket?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't.
And I guess one just final one for me. Obviously, we've heard JL say that Cam Green is looking likely to make his debut in the first test in Adelaide. You made your test debut relatively young as well. What sort of advice would you give to Cam, knowing him well, heading into his first test if he was to make his debut?
Look, I think if he looks back past his, 3, 4 or 5 previous innings, I think he'll be doing okay. He knows now what works best for him. He's learned a lot about his game over the last 18 months. So I think he just needs to go in and back himself. It sounds so simple, but he knows what he's done to get there. He knows what's working for him with the bat and with the ball as well. So super exciting for him. He's such a gun. Australian cricket should be really, really excited about the prospect of Cam Green. I certainly am very keen to watch if he gets a go.
If he doesn't get a go, would you like to see him back at the Scorchers?
Oh, definitely. From a selfish point of view, absolutely. He's a fantastic bloke. He knows how to handle himself on the cricket field. So anyone like that's going to be good to have.
Thanks, Jhye. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers.
Thanks, Lockie. Steve Allen, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, Jhye, obviously recently you were pretty bullish, I suppose, as we all were, about the batting lineup, and you found yourself out there early the other night with the bat yourself. Is it a little bit worrying, or does it dent the confidence that the batting lineup didn't live up to expectation?
No, absolutely not. I think, Ash said to us before the game, the beauty about this being such a long season and it only being round one is that we can go out there and play with no fear. So, whilst it didn't go our way, I fully expect our top order and our batsmen to come back stronger and put performances on the board because, from a team perspective, we know what they're capable of, and we know that they're going to go out there without any fear of losing their wicket. And like I said before, if that's what the team needs at that particular moment to accelerate, then we're going to back them to do that.
Cool. Thanks, Steve. You got any more or?
I'll jump in if I could,
Yeah,
Patrick. Blake from the ABC here. Jhye, I think a lot of people are seeing the Stars as a pretty strong favourite in this tournament already. We've seen how strong they've been for a good couple of years now. Do you sort of see it that way as well? What is it about them that makes them so good at the moment?
Look, I think they've got a couple of guys, especially in their batting order, that are really destructive in Maxi and Stoyne at the top there. We spoke about it a little bit yesterday, and if we're concentrating on what we do well, especially what we do well over the course of the whole Big Bash, we'll be fine. We'll be fine against them. The Perth Scorchers get a great sense of pride and excitement out of beating the Melbourne Stars. So certainly around the group, everyone's pumped and ready to go to try and, give it to them, I guess, and stamp our authority early in the season.
There are a lot of guys in the batting lineup who a lot of the West Aussie boys are very familiar with for obvious reasons. Does that help them more than it helps you? Or how do you sort of see that, the fact that you're coming up against so many guys who you know so well?
Oh, look, I think T20, we can see how different T20 can be to any of the other sort of cricket that we play. So they're definitely going to be trying to, think outside the box against us, knowing what we do, and us knowing them quite well as well. So they're going to think outside the box on how they're going to combat our bowlers, just like we are going to think about how they might come at us. So I think it works in both ways. But yeah, I think if we stick to what we do, then we'll be fine.